Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. And this is what Speaker Boehner sounded like, I guess.
No, he would have
that
just
night when the Pope left, and he was still weeping over that love he has for that guy, the guy with the pointed head. He was thinking about going back to work tomorrow, and he thought, the thrill is gone. What do you think, Sigmund Kramer?
I think that the thrill has been gone for Boehner for about, 7 years, man.
I think so.
We have never liked the guy.
Never. And the Requiem's being written for him, it's like the guy's going to be a saint. This is a great speaker. Yeah.
Who's writing that?
Mainstream media.
You know who's writing that? Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid.
Yeah.
They love the guy.
I saw this picture of him kissing Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, yeah.
The big puckered up lips.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like so obnoxious.
Oh, yeah. He's done that many, many times. I've seen many pictures like that.
And so I'm, I can't help but mention I did gloat. I gloated quite a bit over his departure.
But it's going to
be short-lived, though.
He could be replaced by somebody even worse.
Yeah, it's going to be worse, or at least as bad, from what I can tell. We had former Congressman Steve Stockman on the program. And he says that he predicts a bad replacement. And so I think I could have dreams of someone like Jeb that he mentioned, as a potential
Hensarling.
Hensarling. I could have dreams of Price from Georgia, Congressman Price from Georgia, Tom Price. But
Mark Meadows is who's most likely to get it.
Oh no, he's least like of the conservative wing.
But he's the one that's most named out there.
Honestly, I don't think it's possible to get it without being in a senior leadership position. I don't think it's possible.
Ted Poe, I think he acts like he doesn't want it, but I think he would like to be given the opportunity to be nominated, to be voted on. But I don't think he's really pushing for it.
No. For me, though, I'd be really happy, and I'm not a huge Paul Ryan fan, but I'd be happy with Paul Ryan versus so many of the other options. Like Kevin McCarthy is the front runner, and he's literally John Boehner's mini-me, literally.
Wait, Kevin McCarthy? I thought Mark Meadows was.
Mark Meadows is the guy who led the charge to get rid of Boehner.
Yeah, but he's not. He doesn't want to be speaker.
He wants to be speaker, but he doesn't have a prayer.
Okay.
He doesn't have a prayer. He's
part
of that small group of Tom Price. Jeb Houseling has a better chance than Meadows, just because he was a former House Republican Conference chair, which is formal high-level leadership position, and he's a chairman of one of the most important committees in the House. And so he has way more steam than Meadows has. Mm-hmm. But Paul Ryan, to me, is the golden mean between, the Tom Price, real high integrity principal guys, or Meadows, kind of guy, and a Kevin McCarthy who is really no reward.
He's John Boehner.
Just another John Boehner.
Actually, he's probably more Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, to me, I would love to see Paul Ryan do that. Steve Stockman said that his presidential ambitions are, getting away with that. So Paul Ryan still has visions of himself running for president. No one, by the way, since the 19th century has been able to run successfully from the U.S. House of Representatives for president. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. He only lived a couple of weeks. He got murdered by an angry...
McKinley?
No, by an angry guy who said he was promised a job and didn't get the job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why can't I remember that?
Yeah,
not Garfield.
Either.
Who was it?
Yeah, it is. James Garfield.
It was Garfield?
Yeah, James Garfield.
Well, and look at me without my internet. Well, so the thing is, I want a conservative. I want like a Ted Cruz conservative to be in there. Somebody who's not going to just go along to get along, which is all that John Boehner did. He had cocktails. By the way, the guy's an alcoholic. I'm going to call it out right here. He's an alcoholic. Why do we have alcoholics in leadership positions in our government? They have no place there.
Who's an alcoholic?
John Boehner.
How do you know that?
Well, he is.
No, how do you know that? How do you know that? And by the way, take down your pitchfork and your torch.
I don't think that our country needs to be led by anyone with an addiction problem.
But how do you know he's an alcoholic?
I'll let you do the research. I've seen it many places. People who are insiders in D.C., who know John Boehner, who work with him. He's an alcoholic. And I'm sorry, but I don't think that anybody who's got a big addiction problem needs to be a leadership role in our country.
Well, I tell you, if it is true, and by the way, this is allegedly, and allegedly,
this is me. This isn't Kevin saying it. This
isn't me, and we're not saying it as fact. But I will say that certainly explains a lot on how he did things.
Well, that and his emotional responses to things. I mean, I'm sorry, he's an alcoholic. But the point is, we need somebody who's going to be a rock-ribbed conservative who's not going to sit idly by while our country is taken from us and given to socialists and given to.
I totally agree with that, but I'm also John Boehner said on Leto, "I'm a huge alcoholic." He said that on the Jay Leno show. I am a huge alcoholic.
Wow, see, he said it himself.
Here's one: is John Boehner a drunk? Of course he is. Wow, I had no idea. This is interesting. Well,
so my point is, why do we put these people in leadership roles and expect them to do great things for us, for America? We deserve better than this.
Yeah. I'm also, though, I'm kind of tempered with reality. I have these sobering moments, pun intended, where it's like it'd be nice to get, a real hard right-wing guy in that spot. I know how the political dynamics of the reality works.
I do too. Look, we're hoping that Hillary Clinton gets the nomination.
Jeb to me would be very acceptable. Hesseling, former member of Young Conservatives of Texas, one of the more certainly the most conservative in the leadership. I bet Conservative Review probably gives him a solid B, on a scale of A to F. By the way, Ted Poe's score was C on conservativereview.com. No. Ted Poe has declined precipitously over the last few years. And I hate term limits, but I'm slowly because term limits, all it does is make people more ambitious. It's not like these people aren't going to want to run for other offices.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem. But I'm beginning to think, I'm getting so desperate that I'm beginning to think that term limits is beginning to look sexy.
Well,
that's sad.
Wow. I think maybe you've been drinking some of John Boehner's cocktails. Maybe not.
And maybe not. Look up Kevin Price and term limits, and you'll see my many arguments against it.
Look up Kevin Price and alcoholism, and you'll see there's no connection.
I've got problems. Grateful because of family of origin. I stayed away from alcohol.
Yeah,
a lot of uncles. My dad stayed away from it because his dad had a problem with it. A lot of my uncles had a problem with it. It's like, you know what? Why would I think somehow I would be special enough not to have a problem with that?
He's the Ted Kennedy of the Republican Party. At least he didn't, get somebody off at Chappaquiddick. But still, it's just you just don't need somebody who's an alcoholic or a drug addict or whatever in a leadership role, and we can do better than that. I'm not sure Paul Ryan is the guy that I'd like to see.
Ryan is to me, as a modest choice.
At least he's healthy.
He could appease everybody.
At least he's athletic and fit and healthy.
He looks like it, at least. All right, do want to mention and give thanks to my friends over there at Corporate Memory Solutions, act2.com, and Cornerstone Business Academy. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Spend it wisely right here on this station.